What is up, everybody, man? It's your boys. We're back again with it again, man. It's your boy T Time, and it is the Cam and T podcast. I'm your co-host, like I said, T Time, and we have our guy that's been missing in action the last few days. Cambo is back. He has recovered his phone or got a new phone. My boy, I'm glad you back, man. What's going on, dog?
Not much, man. I'm glad to have a phone. I'm glad I'm back, bro.
Yeah, my bad. I had a little echo there. Sorry, y'all.
You
But
good? You
yeah,
good?
I'm glad you back, bro. Glad everything's good. Glad you got back safely. I hate that what happened to you. Maybe you want to explain to people what happened. I don't know
Oh
if you do
yeah,
or not, but yeah.
yeah. So basically, what happened was, um, so I was at Dreamville Fest this weekend. Um, which shout out to Dreamville and everybody that was out there. And shout out to all the artists because it was a really good festival. I had a really good time. But during Ray Shrimmer's set, who they were kind of who I was most excited to see outside of Cole. Um, they kind of it kind of got a little rowdy, you know what I'm saying? Everything was it was hot and we kind of started a little mosh pit, right? And so your boy of course was in the center of it, you know what I'm saying? Had to go out there and put on for my boys and whatnot. But next thing I know, it's people around me looking around like, man, where my phone at? Where my phone at? And you know me, T, me and you have talked about this before.
Mhm.
Anytime before we leave the house or before we go anywhere, we tap our legs, tap our pockets, phone, wallet, keys, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's all I say anytime. And I was tapping my stuff. I tap all throughout the day. Anytime I'm in somewhere with a whole bunch of people in a public crowd, I'm always checking, making sure I got everything.
Yep.
Um, and my pockets had zippers on them, so I knew, when something was gonna happen or whatever, right? Anyway, so I checked them and checked them and checked them the whole time. Soon after the mosh pit, they was like, "Hey, y'all, pull out your phones. I want to see your phones. Put them in the sky." I almost pulled mine out, but I typically don't record at like concerts and stuff like that because I like to see it. Everybody remember your eyes and your brain are your best cameras. So I like to see. I don't like to record. I like to see. I like to be in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I almost pulled mine out, but I decided not to. After that song was over, that was the last song that they set. That's when everybody was looking around like, man, where my phone at? Where my phone at? And I checked my pockets and mine was gone too. So I don't know if it was a serial pickpocketer out there, a
Mhm.
kleptomaniac or what, but it wasn't just me that lost their phone, but it was a
Mhm.
lot of people out there that lost it. So that leads me to believe that other people have lost their
Yes.
phone too. Or
Yeah.
other people got their phone stolen
Stolen.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So
man. That's unfortunate, man. That you trying to go out and have a good time and people do
and
stuff
people
like that.
stealing. Yeah,
That's
man.
crazy. Before we jump into the sports stuff, I know you a big J. Cole fan, so I gotta bring this up now. What did you think about him reneging and coming back on his word and coming back and apologizing and doing all that? Because he's been getting slandered for like since it happened, really. This whole week he been getting slandered. How you feel about it, bro?
So I ain't been online really. I ain't been on
Yeah.
nothing. I just got my phone yesterday. So um, man, listen, I ain't gonna lie. I left Dreamville salty that night because everybody who follow me, you know what I'm saying, they was seeing what I was saying. I was riding for you, boy. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? No Diddy. Like I was I like I was putting on. I was making sure like everybody knew my stance on that J. Cole diss. I was,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so when he got up there, and this was right before he performed, dang, I don't even remember what song it was right before he performed it, but he was talking about his growth and all of that stuff.
Hmm.
Then he said, basically, how many of y'all think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest rappers ever? And, the whole crowd went crazy or whatever. And he was like, well, I just basically said he felt really bad about dissing Kendrick. We already know Cole loves him some Kendrick. He loves him some Drake. And he loves the fact that people consider him to be as big as they are, as great as they are. You know what I'm saying? So when he made the decision to say that, kind of apologizing for the diss and saying that, Kendrick can diss him back and he not gonna say nothing back, and that he's gonna consider removing the song from streaming platforms, I was kind of upset at first because I was like, bruh, I done did all this gassing, you know what I'm saying? I done did all of this talking. I mean, I was in the trenches. And for him to do me like that, it wasn't even so much the growth and stuff. Like, I was cool with that. It was just the fact that he decided to do that after I said my piece online, bro. Man, my aunt had called me and she said, we was talking about it. And she said that she can appreciate it from a growth standpoint. And then I was like, yeah, I can too. From a human standpoint, from a man standpoint, I can absolutely appreciate that because we done all said some stuff that we kind of not necessarily regret, but just, maybe that just wasn't the right thing to say.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like he didn't say nothing that was so bad to where he felt like he needed to apologize or retract the statement.
Right.
Like, send a diss like you did. Kendrick sent a diss at you. You sent one back. It's all good, bro. You know what I'm saying? But for him to kind of say, I shouldn't have did that. It kept me up at night. All this other stuff. Again, I understand it, but online they not gonna understand that, and they not gonna understand that from the rap game standpoint because people view the rap game as a sport. Kendrick said that before. Cole has said that before. You know what I'm saying? Like when you playing sports, is you got to go at the other person's throat. You know what I'm saying? You got to go at the other person's neck. So I don't know. I just think that's gonna hurt Cole for the time being. And really, anytime anybody tries to diss him from here on out, it's gonna, people not gonna take it. Yeah, people not gonna take it seriously. So I don't know.
Yeah, man. I'll give my quick synopsis too, and then we'll move on to the sports. I 100% agree with you on the personal level. As a man, I 100% understand why he did that. 100%. I get it as a man. It makes a lot of sense. You're growing up, you're getting old. I think he's closer to 40 at this point. So I definitely understand why he's doing that as a man. But I'm gonna keep it honest with you. That was the worst move I've ever seen from a rapper in my entire life. Like, it's 6ix9ine level bad to me. I'm gonna be honest.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be honest. It's 6ix9ine level bad. I'm not gonna lie, because now you've been going around saying you Muhammad Ali. I'm the greatest rapper. I'm the best of all time. And now, as soon as somebody questions you, you say, "Oh no, bro, I'm good. I don't want nothing but peace." And it was the weakest move I've ever seen in rap. I'm gonna be honest, especially from a superstar. And that's why I was telling you off camera, I low-key can't. I respect J. Cole, the man. I don't think I can respect him as much as a rapper anymore. He's great. He's lyrics. He's one of the greatest lyricists of all time. He's awesome. He makes great music. But when it comes to rap is a sport. It's a sport. That's like Cam Newton coming out and is going around boasting around back when he was in the league saying, "I'm the best quarterback. I'm the best quarterback. I'm the best running quarterback that comes out." And then let's just say Lamar Jackson comes and is a rookie at that time and says, "No, I'm the best running back, and you not all that." And Cam says, "Oh nah, bro, you right, you got it. You the best rushing quarterback of all time." It's lame. It's no other way. And I know a lot of people from North Carolina probably watching this podcast, and I know everybody in North Carolina pretty much glorifies the foot that J. Cole walks. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was the weakest move in rap. It was one of the weaker moves I've ever seen. I get it as a person. I really do. Completely understand it as a person. As a rapper, it was weak. There is nothing he can ever say to any rapper. Ever. Because what he just did was marked himself for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
And which is why I said the other day ago, he would be best off just going the Christian route, which is fine. I'm dead serious. I'm not even trying to be mean. Like, I'm just being honest.
Nah.
Like, it's a competitive sport. Either Christian rap or hang it up. That's it. That's his only two choices at this point. Nobody's going to take anything else serious from J. Cole when he's been running around for the last 7 years talking about he's Muhammad Ali. Nobody's going to take him seriously no more.
But see, Here's my thing about that. What rapper don't say that they not the GOAT, that they the GOAT? You know what I'm
I
saying?
understand, but see, this is my thing though, and I'll say this. This is my only problem about that. If you gonna say you the best rapper, and every rapper should be saying they're the best rapper, you gotta stand on that though. Like that's the part. That's my problem. My problem is when the controversy started coming towards him, he didn't stand on it. That's the biggest problem with me as a rapper. He made and honestly, if he didn't believe in the diss that he put out, he should have never put it out.
Yeah.
That's really the facts. He should have just said, "I'm not gonna say nothing," like Drake has done. Because Drake know he can't lyrically hang with Kendrick. Let's be real now. Let's be real. He can't hang with Kendrick. He might can popularity wise. Drake can't go bar for Kendrick.
Nah.
J. Cole's probably the only one that kind of can, which is why
couldn't go bar to bar with Pusha T.
Which is why I'm even more disappointed that he went out like that.
That he decided to go out. I can see that.
It's disappointing.
See, my thing is, I feel like what Drake is doing is weaker though. And the reason why I say that is because we talked about this last week, I think. Mm-hmm. Drake sending shots at Meg Thee Stallion. He's still riding for Tory Lanez. He's still, you know what I'm saying? He's been sending shots at other female rappers. He sends shots at smaller rappers. But as soon as somebody that's on your level, I mean, Kendrick diss was literally pretty much all directed towards Drake.
Him, right.
You know
which is why I don't understand why J. Cole even jumped in and said
it. He really didn't have to say nothing. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, I understand where Cole was coming from, where he said everybody was texting me and blowing up my phone. He said he had over 1,000 messages that day. And he said everybody was blowing up his phone. He felt like he had to say something instead of really realizing that he doesn't have to say nothing.
Right.
Because the whole thing was directed towards Drake pretty much.
Drake, for real.
And I feel like Drake taking the soft way out because he talking about, because Future sent some shots at him. Kendrick sent some shots at him. But yet, he's still sending shots at Meek. Yeah. After they done pat stuff up, he's still sending shots at Meek. After Pusha T basically diabolically violated him, he's still sending shots at him. He sends shots towards Meg. You know what I'm saying?
He sends shots towards what's that kid that got killed down there in Florida a couple years back? XXXTentacion. He sends shots at him all the time.
Still sending shots at him.
And that dude's been dead for 4 or 5. I'll say it. I don't like Drake. I used to be like a huge fan of Drake. I'm starting not to like him.
I'm the same way. Yeah,
I'm starting not to like him, bro. I'm gonna be real. The music has declined. He acts like a pansy sometimes. I'll just be honest. Yeah. I'm really starting not to like Drake, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like what he's doing is super weak. And,
but it would, if he didn't. If I agree with you, if he wasn't dissing other people and he was just staying quiet on it, I think he would be good. It's the fact that he dissed Meg in the last couple songs. He's dissed a couple of guys. So I do agree with you on that end. That's just as weak as what J. Cole is doing. But I think J. Cole is not the worst way. But we got to get into sports. We've been talking about this for the last 15 minutes. So, all right, let's jump into the college basketball national championships. We talked about it last week. UConn won the national championship. I don't think nobody's surprised by that. I told you on this podcast last week, I think they are 15 points better than any team in the country. And guess how much they won by?
They won
by exactly 15 points, 75-60. Again, 2 national championships for UConn in the last 2 years. I think 4 in the last 10, which is incredible. UConn is now like a powerhouse, to be honest with you, at this point. We'll just make this quick. How did you feel about UConn winning another national title?
Yeah. I real quick, I'm reading the comments though. They was talking about Slim Jimmy out there pickpocketing. Slim Jimmy did crowd. He did crowd surf, so he could have been. But anyway, man, UConn. Since I've been alive, UConn has probably been, if not the best basketball program, they probably top 2 or 3.
I think.
Matter of fact, no, they are the best. They are the best.
They've been the best since I've been
alive.
Because
you got to look at men's and women's, especially right now. Mm-hmm. You got to look at both men's and women's. The women's just played. Then they just played. No, they played
in the Final Four. Yeah.
And then the men just played in the national championship game.
And won.
Like UConn women, dominant. We know that for God knows how long now.
Yeah.
The men have been pretty much, if you don't want to say they've been dominant, they've at least been consistent.
Yeah.
All right. They gonna give you a championship run at least every 5 years. At least. You know what I'm saying? And in my lifetime, they had this year, they got last year. God, they got at least 5 since '98, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what they've won a lot since I've been alive. I know for sure.
Yeah.
So that's what I think they're, to me and you ain't too far off in age.
Yeah.
They're the best. They're the best team I've seen in my lifetime. As far as program, UConn has been consistently good. They have 3 coaches that have won at least 1 ring in the last 20 years or something like that. It's ridiculous. I mean, they're one of the best programs. I think they're the best program as of right now. And that's just my opinion. I think, and also as well, you got to think about what their basketball on the women's side did too in the mid 2000 teens, the 2000, they were just running stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
So I think when you look at it as a total, so here's the national champions. I got to pull it up here. They won in 99, which was their first one. They've won in 2004. They've won in 2011, 2014, 2023, and 24.
So they got 6.
Just the last, what? That's not even.
That's 25 years.
Yeah, that's 25 years. They've won 6 titles. That's insane.
That's major. That's major. That's we're talking. That's Alabama.
Yeah, that's Alabama football, right?
Yeah, that's Alabama.
I mean, they are the. I know North Carolina fans are going to be in here getting mad, and Duke. I think they're a step ahead of those guys because I think Duke only has 3 in the last 20-something years, and I think North Carolina probably has about the same, probably about 3. I think Kentucky has 1.
They got 1.
2.
They got 1.
I personally, I think Kansas probably has 1. They had 1 the other year ago. I think that was 22. And they probably have a few more, but I think UConn's the best program in college basketball, and it's been that way for probably like the last decade, honestly. To be quite frankly honest, I mean, 3 titles in 10 years is crazy, especially in a tournament that is set up for like parity. It's just crazy.
And they're easy to pull for all the time for some reason. They always got good teams, always got great players that we want to see succeed.
Yeah.
I remember when I really started getting into college basketball, Kimball Walker, bro. Like, let's talk about it. What he did for the game. I think Shabazz Napier, right?
Yeah.
He was there. Like, God, who else am I missing? My man that was just there last year. I think
Angel Reese's cousin. What's his name?
He just went to the league. Yeah.
He just went to the league.
Jordan something, I think.
Jordan something. Yeah, I can't remember the kid's name right now. But yeah.
But I mean, they have talent.
Jordan Hawkins. Ain't that his name?
Hawkins,
Jordan
Hawkins.
I think that's it. That's him. Yeah.
From a talent perspective, they may not put the amount of players that Duke and North Carolina put into the league year in and year out, but they're putting up championships. And we're talking about college basketball. We're not talking about going to the draft. We're talking about the college basketball season. Since 1999, like you said, in my lifetime, I'm a 98 baby. Since 99, they've won 6. Yeah. So in my mind, nobody else has won the championships that they have. I ain't seen all 6, but you know what I'm saying. I was alive for all 6.
You was alive, right?
Yeah, I seen the last 2. I seen the last 3.
3.
You probably seen the last 4. You said 11, right?
Yeah, because they won in 04 too, as well.
You said they won in 11.
They won in 11. That was the Kimber run. They won in 11.
14.
They won in 14. They won in the last 2 years, 23 and 24.
23 and 24. So, I mean, it's hard to. People were still talking about it last year. Last year, they should have absolutely been accepted as a blue blood.
Yeah, absolutely.
After, people were still trying to debate it. After this year, I shouldn't see no more debates.
Yeah, no.
Unfortunately, I ain't trying to disrespect you or not, but your UCLA Bruins.
No, we don't need to be on the list no more. I'll be honest. I was trolling people on the TL, but we don't need to be on the list. We're like the Nebraska of college basketball. Honestly, I'll be real. Ain't no shame in my game. We don't need to be on that list until we get back to the title. Now we win a title soon, then we should be back up there.
Yeah.
But until then, no. UCLA is not. I think at this point, and this is coming from a UCLA fan, we're not a blue blood anymore. At this point, we're pretty much Nebraska. Like I said, what Nebraska is in football is what UCLA basketball has become. And this is coming from a UCLA fan.
When the last time UCLA was it the 80s? Was that the last championship?
The last time we won was 90. I think it was 30. It was almost 30 years ago. I do know that for sure. Okay. It might have even been before I was alive, to be quite frankly honest with you. It might have been 94, I want to say.
So I mean, it's been
the point is it's been a long time.
It's been a while. Yeah. It ain't been since
95, the year I was born. That's the last time.
95.
95.
So,
yep.
So they going up. Years. We pulling up on 30 years.
Yeah. Almost. I knew it was about 30 years.
So you got to look at all these other teams. I mean, shoot. I mean, it's a lot of other teams that just have a lot more success lately. You know what I'm saying? So who would you say, before we move on, who would you say is your college basketball blue bloods right now?
So here are my college.
Our lifetime.
Yeah. So in my lifetime, so here are my college basketball blue bloods in my lifetime. So this is the last 30 years. UConn, I think it's number one. I don't really even think that's really a question. UConn's number one. You got to put Duke and North Carolina in there. There's no way you can't. Kentucky should also be in that realm. I think Villanova, who's won 2 titles in the last couple of years, should also be in that realm. I know they're a little down now, but they should be in that realm as well. After that,
Kansas.
It gets kind of Kansas. Yeah, Kansas as well. They should be in there as well. After that, I think that's the cutoff.
That's it.
For me, that's the cutoff.
It. I think, I ain't going to lie to you. I think, Kentucky is tough because they at least have a championship more recently.
Yeah.
But that whole time, I mean, their claim to fame was putting talent in the NBA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's where their blue blood status comes from.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as winning championships, they ain't these other guys. You know what I'm saying? Right. They're not UConn, Duke, or North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So I think I would have the same list. Kentucky would probably be last on their list. I know you wasn't doing them in order, but
yeah, I was just
they would be kind of like, especially now that Calipari's gone, they probably almost on the way out. And really, they can really be on the way out regardless. I would probably say, go ahead.
Go ahead. I want to bring up something about the Calipari situation, but go ahead.
I was just going to say, I would probably say for me, I would just probably do, I know Gonzaga hasn't won a championship ever, but they're always in the mix as well. I'm not putting them as a blue blood. I'm just saying they would be, if they get a championship, they kind of be on the same level as a Kentucky would. They just don't have the draft.
I mean, to me, Gonzaga kind of reminds me of Clemson football a little bit, but without the
championships.
Without the championships.
I can see that. They've been good. They've been really. Actually, you know what? I got one for you. They remind me of Oklahoma better.
Oh yeah, I kind of see that because Oklahoma does have rings back in the day, though. But yeah,
back in the day, but they ain't got one
recently.
Recently. Yeah, I don't know when their last championship was. Because did they win one with
Don't
Bradford?
get me guessing. Don't get me. Was it 08?
Did they win one that recently?
I might be tripping. Go ahead though. I'm gonna look it up while. But go ahead.
I was just saying good.
I thought they won one in 08-ish area. I thought maybe.
Yeah.
No.
They're always good,
no. They haven't won one since 2000. So
okay,
yeah, you're right.
So almost 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's still pretty. It's not recent, but you know what I mean. But
it's recent enough, yeah.
It's recent enough. But regardless, they're always good.
Yeah.
They're close, but no cigar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Just like Gonzaga. Gonzaga's always good.
Yeah.
I mean, always good. They just ain't never won one. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's kind of the same thing for me. Whereas Clemson football, shoot,
they don't won one. They don't want 2. So
they don't want 2 in this era, and had another one
in the 80s.
And almost had 3 more on top of that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Recently, so. But anyway, I got the same blue bloods as you though. To be honest with you, I think UConn absolutely should be number 1 right now.
Yeah.
Sorry to the North Carolina fans. Sorry to the Duke fans.
Yeah.
Y'all got the NBA talent. Take it. But the same way y'all treated me when I was gassing up Jokic and y'all said, well, he don't have no rings, he just got the MVPs. Hey.
Yeah, I agree. Now I want to talk about Calipari before we move on to the USC girls team because I want to give USC girls. I feel like they're getting no media attention, and I want to talk about that in a few minutes. But anyway, I want to talk about the Calipari thing real quick. So he's obviously leaving. He's going to Arkansas, and Kentucky right now is screwing around. They don't know who they're going to hire. The dude from Baylor turned them down, so they thought he was going to come. He said no. And I think the fans are actually the one who ruined them for that. Did you hear about that whole situation with the fans? Kentucky fans are insane, for one. Let's just get that out the way. So allegedly in Waco, Texas, yesterday, the coach, I can't think of his name, Drew something. I might be saying his name wrong. Somebody in the comments can let me know. But Baylor's head basketball coach,
Scott Drew, I think.
Scott Drew, thank you. He was Scott. So Scott Drew was at some Mexican restaurant in Waco, Texas, with one of the athletic directors or something like that at Baylor. They were having lunch, whatever the case may be. Allegedly, somebody leaked that he was at that restaurant. The girl leaked their phone number and their location. And what the girl actually called, I'm about to tell you, the girl actually called the store. It was like, hey, can you get a phone to, Coach Drew, pretty much? And they walked over like some Kentucky fans on the phone for you or something like that. And so then they start blowing up the phones at this place. This all happened within like a 5-10 minute margin. Kentucky fans start calling the place and they had to actually get up out of there. Because they're like, yo, this is crazy. So he made a decision today to stay at Baylor. And I got a feeling those Kentucky psychos are part of the reason he's staying. Because that's crazy. Like, why would you even do something like that? When I talk about some of the craziest fan bases, I used to pull for Kentucky when I was young. I used to kind of pull for them. This was like,
I do too.
07. Yeah, this was a long time ago. I was a little kid. But their fans are psychos. Like Kentucky fans, we actually need to start talking about them a little bit more. When we talk about the annoyance of like Cowboy fans and like Patriots fans, Boston Celtics fans, I'm not gonna lie. Kentucky Wildcat basketball fans should be right up there with them because they are insane. They make Alabama football fans look normal. Like, that fan base is insane. But my point is, let me get back to my main point. Kentucky has no plan at this point. They're kind of like, God forgive me for saying this, they're kind of screwed at this point. They have no coach. I don't really think nobody wants to fill the shoes of Calipari at this point. They're talking about hiring, I think, BYU's coach or something like that at this point. They're on like contingency plan number 6 because Dan Hurley doesn't want to come there. Nobody else wants to come there. Like, Kentucky's kind of screwed right now, to be honest. And they're kind of getting some karma for, I think, pushing Calipari out because I think whoever they bring in at this point is not going to be better than Calipari. It's just what it is.
You got to be able to see, the thing about him is like, forget the X's and O's for a minute. You got to recruit.
You got to recruit.
You know what I'm saying? You got to recruit. I mean, let's just name some players. Rajon Rondo, I think, was there under him. No. Yeah,
he was. Yes, he was.
Rajon Rondo.
Rondo was
John
there,
Wall.
right?
Huh?
I think Rajon was at Kentucky.
He might have been before him because Calipari got there in 09, I think.
09. He got there in 09. Yeah. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. So he wouldn't have been there. He might have been there his last. No, because he won the championship that year. He couldn't have been.
Let me see. I'm looking it up now. So he was before. He was before.
Yeah, he had to be way before him because
he was 06.
Yeah, he had to be way before him. But regardless, just talk about Kentucky players in general. You can include Rondo, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins. That's just in that first year. Devin Booker. Hey, wait a minute. AD. Karl Anthony Towns.
Yep.
Jamal Murray. Doggone. Bruh.
He's not really that good in the league now, but Willie Cauley-Stein.
Thank you. That's who I was thinking about.
Good. He was really good in college. He didn't pan out in the NBA, but he was really good.
I think Brandon Knight, right?
Yep.
Shoot.
Half the NBA, honestly. Let's just.
I mean,
NBA, really.
all this talent. That just went to now. I will say one thing about Calipari. I do want to say this. He need to accept accountability
Oh,
because
absolutely.
you can't preach that I can get I'm your gateway to the NBA. Like you come here, you guaranteed to go to the league. You can't preach that. Harrison twins, by the way, that's another group. That
SGA.
was there.
Somebody in the comments just said
Yeah, my boy
SGA, by the
Sigler.
way.
Yeah.
Carson Wallace, another one. That's why I say like half the NBA went
Exactly.
through Calipari. Like
Calipari.
let's call it what it is.
But you got to hold yourself accountable. You can't preach that. And then when they go to the NBA, you crying talking about something. Well, I can't do nothing because all my guys leaving. You can't say that year in and year out.
Yeah.
If you want to say, if your main recruiting focus is to bring those guys to Kentucky as freshmen and to have them in the NBA before they turn 19, 20 years old, then you need to be trying to win with them boys while they 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
You can't sit here and say that you can't win because you got a lot of turnover. You the reason why there's a lot of turnover because you telling them boys to go to the league. And obviously, for these young men, going to the league is a lot more important than winning a college championship because they're going to make so much more money in the NBA.
Exactly.
But right now, obviously, with the NIL and stuff like that, he should have been shining. You know what I'm saying? Because now, not only is your boys going to the NBA and making money, but they could have stayed with you for another year and made some money. So you could have had sophomores, juniors, freshmen. You could have had a mix. But you keep preaching that they're going to the league. So he got to hold some accountability for that. But at the same time, I'm with you, though. The pressure was on, and it was real hot. And I feel like in the college basketball landscape, that's kind of crazy, especially for somebody that you had already given a lifetime contract. That, to me, that didn't make a lot of sense for his seat to be so hot. You know what I'm saying? I understand there being some pressure saying, hey, man, we want a championship. But what you're doing with these guys is cool, but we want a championship. I understand the pressure. But for his seat to be hot, scorching hot, when, God, I can't even think. There's only a few coaches in the game that have been there longer than him. And there's only a few coaches in the game right now that have done as much as him. I mean, Hurley only been there for a couple of years, but he's already kind of passed him in championships.
Yeah.
Brownell been at Clemson since Calipari been at Kentucky. He ain't got no championships. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that's the expectation, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Tony Bennett been at Virginia the same amount of time. They always good, just like Kentucky. Like there's his seat shouldn't have been hot, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And like you said, Kentucky is scrambling now because they let the man go that gave them everything pretty much.
Pretty much.
Now they said what they're looking for is one of his assistants that was there before. It's a black man. I can't think of his name right now. I just read it, but they try to get him in there because Hurley keep denying them. But I don't know his name. But they said it's a black man that they trying to look for to replace Calipari. He used to be his assistant.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I'm about to look at his name right now because this news just broke. There it is right there. Kenny Payne.
Okay, Kenny Payne. Okay,
Kenny Payne. He at one point he was an assistant. He's at dang, where is he at? He's at I don't even know what school that is. It's a small school, look like, but regardless.
But again, you know let's be real. No disrespect to Kenny Payne either. Come on, man. You think Kentucky fans gonna approve of that hire, bro? Come on, bro. They want one of the big fishes, bro.
Yes.
They're not, it's Kentucky basketball. They're not gonna approve of that, no way, in the first place. So it's just they put themselves in a bad.
I know who they can come get.
Who?
They can come get Brad Brown.
All right, let's move on to women's basketball. Let's move on to women's college basketball, man. South Carolina wins another ring, and we're talking about another extremely great coach, Dawn Staley. Third ring, I think, in the last, maybe 6 or so years. Just she's on an absolute tear, man. Undefeated season. Again, South Carolina, probably the best women's program in college basketball at this point.
Right now, for sure.
I don't think there's really any argument at this. It used to be UConn, but right now it's South Carolina. South Carolina is the best women's college basketball program in the country, and it's been that way probably since about 2017, 2018. Yeah. They've been the best program in the country. So at this point, man, Caitlin Clark, I think she did still put up 30, but it wasn't as effective as people think it was. She got off to a hot start
A
with
hot
18
start.
points in the first quarter, and that's when Raven Johnson was not guarding her. But once Raven Johnson locked in on her, 12 points. She did a really good job. Shout out to Raven Johnson. She from Atlanta, so I try to root for the people from Atlanta. Went to Westlake High School, but yeah, man, I really do think that South Carolina's, again, we was talking about UConn becoming a dynasty. I think South Carolina's pretty much there at this point as well. When we start talking about girls, the women's, let me not say girls, when we talk about the women's basketball, blue bloods, South Carolina has entered their name into that chat with UConn,
Absolutely.
Tennessee, Stanford, so on and so forth.
Yep.
So again, man, I just want to give them some credit. I'm so sick of this media. And don't get me wrong, this is no disrespect towards Caitlin Clark. I think she's one of the best players to ever play the women's game. But I feel like nobody's actually covering that. South Carolina went 39-0, unblemished. Everybody's talking about Caitlin Clark is going to the lead and da-da-da-da. Caitlin Clark doesn't have a ring. Like, no disrespect. Like, I still think she's a top 5 player in this league, but she has 0 rings. Now, what she did with Iowa, tremendous. Hard to do. I want to, again, I'm not trying to disrespect her, but I'm just kind of tired of the media shoving her down our throats. No diddy. Like, it's just getting kind of insane at this point. Like, I'm just kind of getting tired of it. Like, I like Caitlin Clark. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I like Caitlin Clark. She's one of the best. I think she's the best woman shooter I've ever seen in my life. Her form is gorgeous. Again, I think she's a tremendous player. She's gonna make a lot of people turn on to the WNBA as well. But again, man, I don't feel like there's enough coverage on what South Carolina accomplished and what they've been accomplishing really the last couple of years. So shout out to Dawn Staley and the Lady Gamecocks, man. Definitely deserved. And they're, like I said, I think they're the best program in women's college basketball at this time.
For sure. I think I'm kind of with you too. I think one of the things too that we got to recognize too is that the reason why, one of the reasons why they're talking about her going to the WNBA is because they've never had a star this big.
Yeah.
Well, let me reframe. I don't know this for sure, but they've never had. It's rare that they've had a star this big coming to the league. Let me say it like that. Let me put it that way. I don't want to disrespect nobody else, but it's rare that they've had a star this big coming to the WNBA at the time. So that's why they're really gassing her up. Also, I'm pretty sure that off season for the WNBA or for women's basketball in general moves a lot quicker because it's the draft like next week or something.
The draft is on Monday. Yeah, their season starts like in a couple of weeks, like May the 15th or something like that.
There you go. I always thought that was so quick. Like, how does the championship end and then they getting drafted a week later? Like, that is fast.
Yeah, it's fast.
Extremely fast. Because the NBA, the NBA draft ain't until doggone July.
Or
late June, something like that.
Yeah, so like July, June, yeah.
Yeah. So but anyway, it's I do want to give the credit though to her for sure. Like you said, like she's a great player, but she doesn't have a ring, and we need to be talking about the champions right now. And the champions are, like you said, the Lady Gamecocks of South Carolina. And obviously Dawn Staley is her name gotta be up there with the GOATs of just a basketball in general, but I'm just talking about like specifically coaching for sure. Man, come on, man. Women's basketball coaches, she got to be up there already. All basketball coaches in terms of college, she got to be up there, man.
Absolutely.
Like, what she's doing with this program, like you said, like what I just said earlier about Calipari having the NBA talent, but not necessarily the championships. He got one, but he don't have multiple. Dawn Staley got half the WNBA talent right now. It seemed like they getting a star in there every year.
Yeah, every year.
Asia Wilson, Aaliyah Boston, right? My girl that's about to go in there.
Camila Cardoso.
Her, but I'm talking about the girl that just came off the bench. She looked like my little cousin, Malaysia.
Oh yeah, Malaysia Wiley.
She's gonna be in there in the next. She's gonna be in there in the next couple of years.
Yeah, she's good.
This is these.
What's the little other girl too that was shooting that 3? I think her name Pow or something like that. She was going crazy.
They gonna reload. Yeah, they're gonna reload. But But anyway, like she got all of that. Dawn Staley got all of that. She got the league talent and she got the championships. Like that's a for sure dynasty. I'm with you. South Carolina, UConn, Tennessee for sure. I thought Baylor was gonna be a dynasty for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So Stanford, like you said, yeah. But obviously, you know, and then as far as like Caitlin Clark, you know, she said she wanted to go to UConn, but she couldn't get. They didn't recruit her.
Take her over.
Yeah, but she ended up building. I mean, she built something at Iowa. I don't know if they're gonna be able to sustain that because they probably not gonna get. They're not gonna get another star like her. But I mean, she put Iowa on the map for at least 4 years.
I mean, you could argue she's their greatest athlete of all time.
Oh yeah.
Would anybody like question that at this point? Caitlin Clark is probably their best athlete. That's why they retired her jersey 2 days after she.
2 days later. Yeah.
Like, she's probably the greatest athlete that ever came through that school. No disrespect to no football, baseball players, lacrosse, whatever. She's probably the best athlete that ever came through that school. So again, I'm not trying to disrespect Caitlin Clark by my rant earlier, but she's great. Like I think she's a top 3 or 4 like college women's basketball player to ever play. Like I put her that high. Like I wouldn't put her number 1 because I've seen a lot of people saying she's the GOAT. No, she's not. She has 0 rings. What she did was tremendous. I think if she would have won a ring, we would be having a discussion today.
Yeah, she probably
would be having it because what she would have done was more special, low key than Maya Moore, low key more special than Diana Taurasi, low key more special than all those girls because she took Iowa, which was pretty much a crap program, and put them on the map almost single-handedly.
Single-handedly.
Exactly.
I mean,
only other girl that's on that team that's decent is that Stalky girl, that center.
I know
everybody else is pretty like trash to mid, to be honest with you.
I know.
So if Caitlin Clark would have won a ring on Saturday or Sunday, whatever, I might would have been calling her the GOAT today. I'm not gonna lie, but the fact that she did not, I'm gonna put her at like 3 or 4, 2, somewhere in that ballpark. She can't be the GOAT.
You know what this remind me of? If she won, this is a LeBron-esque type beat.
Absolutely.
But since she got them there and carried them there and was dominant, she remind me of Super Bowl MVP, not Super Bowl MVP, but MVP season Cam. When he carried Carolina all the way there. I mean, he put Carolina on the map. It's almost the same thing what she did for the Iowa program.
Yep,
you can make an argument. And so, you know, is she GOATed? For sure. But is she GOAT? Probably not.
Yeah, because people try to argue with me on Twitter and say, oh, that's a bad take. She should be the GOAT. I'm like, bruh, is she GOATed? Yes. I think she's top 5. Like I said, I think she's top 5 best women's basketball player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Is she the best one? No, she has 0 rings.
Yeah.
You cannot be the best player in college basketball with none of this. You just can't. Like it's just what it is. Now, is she the most impactful player to ever play women's college basketball? Yes.
Probably.
I think she is. I mean, she just drew in 18.8 million viewers.
She building the game, man.
Yeah, she's so impactful to what college basketball is. But she's not the GOAT. She's one of the GOATs, like Dawn Staley said, but she's not the GOAT.
The GOAT, right.
People got to realize the GOAT means you are the greatest of all time. You, not people, you. And I think the greatest of all time in college basketball is Maya Moore, 4-time national championship winner. That is the greatest player that ever played college basketball, in my opinion.
Yeah. She up there. People were saying Taurasi up there.
Yeah,
people were
saying, up there as well.
Dang, who was the other one? It was another one people were saying too.
Candace Parker could make a valid argument. I wouldn't give it to her, but she could make an argument.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent, man. That's why I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of locked in now. You know what I'm saying? No.
Bro, I'm actually like going to be tuning into women's basketball games.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited.
Players like USC Juju Watkins as a freshman. The girl you were just talking about at South Carolina, Fo Wiley or whatever her name is, she's freaking amazing. I mean, goodness. So I watched her play. I was like, oh my God, this girl is amazing. Pow, amazing. These girls are amazing. Paige Becker is coming back for another season. She's really good. I'm going to be tuned in to women's college basketball probably like I've never been before. To be honest with you, I've been kind of paying attention a little bit here since 2020, but I'm really like this next season, I'm actually going to like lock in and actually watch. So I'm excited, man.
I want to say one more thing too about it. I hope Caitlin Clark takes that big 3 money from Ice Cube. I really hope she do that. She need to, bro.
I would, but she's not.
She's not gonna make. The only other way that she'll make that money is through endorsements.
The reason why she won't, though, and it kind of does make sense. We just talked about it, the timeline. So when does the big 3 start? That normally starts like May, right? Like
summer. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like May, right? Her season is going to kick off in May.
I thought they said. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Because I thought they said that the big 3 basketball season ends right before the WNBA season starts.
But see, even with that though, even if that's the case, she probably doesn't want to tire her legs out and stuff like that before the season even starts. You get what I'm saying? Like she probably don't want to have any tread on her tires already. You get what I'm saying? Like it's already though. Yeah, I get it though. Like I would take the $5 million. I get it, but I think my only thing I'm trying to see it from her lens, possibly. Like she just got done with the season, April the 8th or 7th or something like that. Then you're gonna tell me I gotta sign up to do another. I don't know. At the big 3 maybe does like 10 games or so.
They do. So the big 3, I got it right here. So the big 3 they play just one day out of the week. They play for 10 weeks and they start in June. They start June 15th and they go until
that would be in her season, right?
They go until August 18th. Let me see the WNBA.
So she wouldn't even be able to play because their season doesn't start now. They don't play as many games in the WNBA.
Yeah, they only play like 30-ish, but they play from May.
30 games or so, but
they play from May to September.
So that would be in the middle of the season. I would not do that. And that's probably what she's thinking is I'm not doing that.
Bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I know she ain't gonna do it, but I feel like the smart thing to do for her. Now, obviously, the league probably wouldn't like it, and her teammates probably wouldn't like it. But the smart thing would for her to do would be play the big 3 for one season, and then go to the WNBA. Like already be drafted. She can't do it. She's not gonna do it. But play for the big 3 for that first season, and then your second season be in the WNBA. Just play that one season in the big 3. Get your money. Because how much did he offer her? 10 million? 15 million?
I think it was 5. I thought it was 5 million.
5 million. They say
still more than what she's gonna get in the NBA, WNBA.
They say her career earnings might not ever get to 5 million in the W.
Yeah. She'll have to get through it. Like she'll get endorsement deals. That'll obviously
she'll get. I mean, bro, I seen her on one commercial already. I don't even remember who that was.
Yeah, Juju Watkins is already in a commercial with Joel Embiid. That's what I'm saying.
With Embiid, yeah.
The women's game is growing something crazy. I do want to read off some of these comments here that y'all left. My bad, I've been leaving y'all hanging. Best women's basketball player of all time is always will be Maya Moore. That's from AB. I 100% agree. Denzel got 2 good names in here. I think Cheryl Swoops and Cheryl Miller both have very good cases to be, one of the best. AB also brought up Juju Watkins will be the best player in the country next season. Honestly, I agree. I think she's going to be one of the better players. Malik came on and said Paige is going to show everybody who's the best player in the country next year. And see, this is what I'm saying. 7 years ago, you think we'd have been on a podcast talking about college women's basketball? Hell no. I'm telling you the answer. We wouldn't have. We wouldn't have been on here, but now people are really excited about college women's basketball. So definitely excited about it. And like you said, I'm kind of on the same type of time. Man. Next year, I'm actually going to tune in. And I'm actually going to sit down and watch these games.
I was telling my grandma, I was like, Grandma, I might have to find me a WNBA team.
Yeah,
because it's getting for real, man. I think the closest one to us is obviously the Dream, but who I don't even know how many teams is there right now. Is it 12?
It's not a lot.
I think it's 12.
I know Dallas has a team, Atlanta has a team, Minnesota has a team, New York has a team,
LA got a team,
got a team, Vegas got a team,
Connecticut got a team, Phoenix got a team.
Phoenix, yeah.
That might be all of them actually, because we just
DC,
named
don't DC got a team? Yeah, somebody says 12 teams. Yeah.
it's 12. Yeah, that might be
They
all
need to
of them.
expand that. They need to go ahead and make that about 16 teams.
Yeah,
They need
I
to go
agree.
ahead and expand at least 14. Get a
Bring
team
the
in
Charlotte
Charlotte.
Sting back. Bring the
Yeah,
Charlotte
that's what I'm
Sting back.
saying. But yeah, bring Charlotte Sting back. Bring another team in as well. I agree. But they
Shoot,
definitely need some.
I said this earlier. Obviously, I'm gonna put on for my city, but Greenville is a nice market. I'm telling y'all, bro.
But women's basketball, it might actually work.
I
Actually,
think that's a beautiful market for women's basketball, bro. I'm not gonna lie
yeah,
to you. But
it
see,
might
I think
work.
the thing about it is,
I mean, if Connecticut could get a team, I
I
don't
was
see
just
why
about
they
to say,
all can't.
if Connecticut can get a team, because what city is it? Greenwich probably is the one with the team.
I'm guessing it's our Hartford, Connecticut. I'm not sure.
So one of those two cities got the team. I mean, I'm sure they probably are bigger than what's it called? Than Greenville, but
Greenville.
like,
Yeah.
but still, I mean, Greenville's popping, it's growing. It's the fastest growing city in the United States right now. So like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
let's do it. Bring a team there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see. Let's go ahead and transition over a little bit to some NBA season talk because we at the end of the season now, man. We're gonna bring on some more guests when we get into the playoff stuff, and we'll talk about that a little bit towards the end of the pod too. But yeah, man, the NBA season is coming to an end. I think most games are pretty much done within the next 5 or so days. I think the 16th is kind of like the last day of the league year, if I can remember, in the regular season. So overall, man, let me ask you a question. Who do you think is the MVP as of right now in the NBA with only like 4 or 5 days left in the season?
I think last night probably should have put the MVP conversation to bed. Jokic is gonna be a 3-time MVP.
I think he is too.
Yeah,
I think he is too.
Jokic is a 3-time MVP, and I'll be frank with you. For me, I was saying I'm one of them suckers who like I'm like, well, I mean, he already got 2. Let's give it to somebody else this time, bro. What he did last night, and this was a battle for the 1 seed for the West.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this was 2 teams that were deadlocked at 1. He put 41, 12, and 8 on Minnesota, bro. Come on, man. He's averaging what I think he's at 29. He had 26, 12, and 9 or something like that on the season. Jokic should be the MVP this year. And again, I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a nice run. He had a shot at it. OKC kind of stumbled a little bit as of late. I think Anthony Edwards isn't in the conversation, but he probably should have been, in my humble opinion, because Minnesota was near the top of the West all season long. He should get some votes. I think Luka should probably get some votes too because he actually carried Dallas. Kyrie had a really good season too, but Luka obviously averaging dang near a 35-point triple-double. Like he should be in the conversation as well. And they're going to finish at least the 4th or the 5th seed. Mm-hmm. So but I think Jokic is going to win it just because the Nuggets are probably going to finish the season as the 1 seed in the West.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I was with the SGA winning the MVP maybe like 2 weeks ago, and now I've completely flipped the Jokic. I think he should win his 3rd MVP. I don't care about like voter fatigue and all that. I want to read you off these stats. Jokic is averaging 26 points a game, almost 27 points a game. That ranks 8th in the NBA. In rebounds, he's getting 12.4 rebounds a game. That ranks 4th. In assists, as a big man, he is averaging 9 assists a game. That ranks tied for 3rd as a big man. And listen to this one. Field goal percentage, 58%. That ranks 10 in the NBA. He is top 10 in every single important statistical category in the NBA. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. It's got to go to Jokic. I'm with you 100% on this. Jokic has just continued to prove. He should have won it last year too. To be real,
I was just about to say the numbers they down from last year.
The Embiid kept crying about it, but he should have won last year too as well.
Should have won last year.
This should really be his 4th in a row. I mean, Jokic is the best player in the league. I think Luka can make a very, like you said, I mean, he's averaging like a 35-point triple-double. But yeah, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. The Joker, he needs to win the MVP. I'm 100% with you on that. Let me ask you another question too. I wanted to ask you about this most improved player. We were actually talking about it a little bit at the end of our podcast last week, and you were pretty much telling me, and it sounds like that's going to happen. Tyrese Maxey is more than likely going to win the most improved player of the year. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give my take first. I think it's absolutely bogus. And here's why. Here's why. Tyrese Maxey was put in a situation where he had to become the number one player. Again, Tyrese Maxey was already good. Him getting the most improved player just does not make a lot. It's kind of like when Ja Morant almost got most improved, or when he did that one year.
He did get it.
And to me, I'm like, the number 2 pick getting the most improved player. How does that make sense? He's the number 2 draft pick in the league. So I don't really understand it. And it's kind of the same thing with Tyrese Maxey. Even though he's not the number 2 draft player in the league, he was already good last year. Most improved should be who was like averaging like 3 points a game and ascended to like 18 points a game. Exactly. That's really most improved. And to me, that is Kobe White from the Chicago Bulls. He should be the most improved. I think Jalen Johnson from the Atlanta Hawks could also make a push for most improved. The guy out there, OKC, I think his name is Jalen Williams. You actually kind of favor him a little bit. I think he also could make a push for, most improved. But I'm not really understanding why a guy that was already like averaging 16, 17 points a game already is now becoming the most improved player because he had to step up on a team that was already good. Yeah. Like, I just don't really get that. So I think Kobe White is really getting hosed, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I see that. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with you too about it based on the way that I know last week I said Maxey, but I'm kind of with you now with Kobe White. And also Jalen Johnson. Honestly, if we being really honest, man, Jalen Johnson, bro, I'm kind of with you. The way the Hawks play with him, I mean, he's outstanding, bro. Like he's a very good player. So I kind of like Jalen Johnson, honestly. But yeah, I think I'm 100% with you. I don't think Ja Morant should have won that year. I think Desmond Bain should have won that year. Yeah, and Ja Morant himself even said that. Like that should have been Bain's trophy. Because you can't. I mean, obviously you can improve from being the second overall pick and having a really good rookie year to being, a dynamic player, a top 10 or whatever he was at the time, player considered to be. But I feel like most improved players should be reserved for the players that don't get a lot of shine, don't get a lot of love, the players that really have improved their game from being, like you said, a 3 points per game player, like a Kobe White. Like last couple of years, he's been a contributor on the Bulls, but he ain't been what he is this year. I mean, he's pretty much their leader at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, to me, that's what most improved is all about. Jalen Johnson, somebody who wasn't a contributor at all, you know what I'm saying, to being a key contributor, somebody who's propelled them into the play-in, you know what I'm saying, when healthy. I think Tyrese Maxey is a player who, I don't know if he was an all-star last year or not, but he was an all-star caliber player. He kind of got propelled into a position to where obviously James Harden's gone, so now he's playing that he's got an increased role in not only scoring the ball but facilitating the ball as well. So I kind of understand why they want to give him most improved player. He's an all-star this year. He dropped a monster 50-point game early in the season. He stepped up huge since Embiid has been out. And I think, first of all, I think it's crazy that he's trying to come back. But regardless, I do understand why he's getting the hype for most improved player. But I'm with you. I think the fundamentals of the award, it should go to, a different player, a different caliber of player.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I mean, I'm looking at Kobe White's stats from last year. The dude only averaged 9.7 points a game last year. This year, he took a whole 10-point jump and he's averaging 19 points a game. That's real development.
That's improvement.
That's real improvement. I'm going to pull up Jalen Johnson's stats as well because he's another one that I think last year, I don't even think we really played him like that. to be honest. And I know for a fact this year he averages like at least minimum like 14 points a game for sure. So I'll give Jalen Johnson stats. Last year he averaged 5.6 points a game. This year he averaged 16 points a game, 9 rebounds a game. He's almost averaging a double-double.
Really?
This is real improvement. So that's why I don't really get it, to me personally.
He had 9 rebounds for real, bro.
9 rebounds.
And ain't he a 3?
He's a 4. He's a 4.
Oh, okay.
Well, but he's a smaller 4 though. He's not like a,
that's what I'm saying. He ain't no tall. Oh, he tall, but what about what's it called? What's their numbers across the board?
Who, Maxey?
So points, rebounds, and assists. All of them, all 3 of them.
So okay, I'll start with Maxey because I'm on him now. So last year he had 20 points a game. He had
see, that's what I'm saying. Come on.
See, I'm about to tell you, this is why I think it's bogus. Maxey had 20 points a game. He was averaging 43% from 3, which is actually really good. And this was last year. This was 2022-2023 season. He had 3 rebounds a game, 3.5 assists a game. This year, he only went up like 5 points. Well, I'll say 6 because it's 26. He's averaging 25.9 a game, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. And he's actually shooting worse from 3 this year. He's only shooting 37% from 3. So he's actually shooting worse than this year.
He's shooting more, though, probably.
He's shooting more, though. Exactly. Right. Yeah. Which kind of goes back to my point. Jalen Johnson, we'll go back to him. So last year, again, he only averaged 6 points a game, 5.6. He averaged 4 rebounds. He averaged 1 assist. This year, he went from 16 to 9 rebounds and 3 assists. And he's shooting the 3. Dang. Again, this is a power forward. He's shooting at a 35% rate. So pretty good for a guy that's supposed to be a 4 at this point. And then Kobe White, who I think deserves the award. Last year, he was at 10 points a game. He was shooting 37%, so pretty much the same. 3 rebounds, 3 assists. But here's where the jump is. Points per game, he went up a whole 10 points to 19 points per game. Rebounds went up to 5 rebounds a game. And assists went up to 5 assists a game. That's a way bigger jump than Tyrese Maxey. No joke. That's what I'm saying. Like, again, no disrespect to Tyrese Maxey, but I kind of don't feel like he deserves this award personally. Or they need to change the name of the award to who got the best of what they did last year and had to step up for their team. They need to do that or something like that because that's pretty much his situation.
They should, because I like the Clutch Award. I mean, that's a cool award, I guess. They should add another award for what you just said.
Yeah,
who stepped up. I think that's a pretty good award.
Oh yeah, give it to Tyrese Maxey for sure.
Yeah, that's a pretty good award
for their team. The most this year. Oh yeah, Tyrese Maxey for sure. But who was the most improved? That should go to Kobe White. And Jalen Johnson should be a close second. I think Jalen Williams from OKC, he should be in the mix as well. So again, I want to talk about something else in the NBA. Now we're gonna talk about the NFL like real shortly because we don't want to keep y'all too long. But I want to talk about the whole I don't know if people notice this, and I know they get a lot of slander. And I think they lost maybe the night before last. But the Lakers, I was gonna talk about this on Tuesday. The Lakers have been on a tear for the last month. They've been really good. Now, granted, I think they did lose the other night to go to the Warriors a couple nights ago. I think that was Tuesday night, the night we was going to do the podcast. But before that, they had won 10 out of 11 games. It was insane. They were on a complete tear. I did want to talk about the standings though in the West because the West is pretty compact. Everybody's kind of all bunched in there towards the bottom. So you have Golden State, who's 44-35. They're into the play-in. Lakers are 45-35. Sacramento is 45-34. Phoenix is 47-33. And then even New Orleans is kind of close to them too with 47-32. This would have been probably a better discussion to have on Tuesday because that's before they had lost. But I think the Lakers kind of deserve some credit for how good they have played in the last month. And also as well, the West is absolutely stacked.
I think Golden State too.
Yeah, Golden State as well has played really well lately. I just think that the fact that a team is, 10 games over
14 games
500.
over 500. Yeah,
It's
and
crazy.
in the play-in. Yeah,
And in
it's
the play
crazy.
in is nuts, man. The West, the NBA West is loaded, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Where would they rank? Where would they rank in the East? The Lakers. Pull that up real quick
Let's pull
for me,
that up.
please. Because
So
I'm
the Lakers
pretty sure I
right
looked at
now,
it the other day. They would probably be 6th.
the Lakers right now are 45 and 35. In the East, they will be ranked 7 because Philly is also 45 and 35 at this time. So they will only be a game out of 6 where Indiana is.
Right.
And really only a game out from 5 where Orlando is.
And they only 3 games out of second, right? Because aren't the
And they're only
Bucks
3
at
games out of
49?
second. They're only 3 games out of second, correct.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that's how
they're not even hold on. I made an incorrection. They're not even 3 games out of second. They're like 2.5 games out of the second.
2.5.
So if
That's crazy.
They would be sitting pretty right now, honestly.
Right.
If they could win a couple games here.
That's what I'm saying. Like the West is so stacked. And I think I'm not gonna lie to you. People have been talking about it. I'm gonna bring this up too. I'm gonna talk about the Lakers first though, but I'm gonna bring this up in a second about conference realignment because I think we need it. But the Lakers though, honestly, the thing about the Nuggets right now, obviously, so y'all know I'm a Nuggets fan. The thing about it though is like I'm almost more scared of who we would play at 8 than if we would be at 2 or 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's a chance we got Golden State. There's a chance we got the Lakers. There's a chance we got the Phoenix Suns.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to the Pelicans. I'm not too worried about them. No disrespect to the Kings. I'm not worried about them, really. You know what I'm saying? But if we mess around and play the Lakers, obviously they're going to be coming out for blood. I know AD want that lick back on Jokic.
Absolutely.
I know Bron don't want to go outside, you know what I'm saying, like this. Yeah. You know what I mean? The Warriors, they getting hot, they getting healthy, everybody staying calm, Draymond staying calm, they all on the court. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they're going to be a tough out. I know the Nuggets, as a Nuggets fan, I would like that smoke again because I need to get them back. But I'm trying to think, who else is there, man? There's and the Pelicans. Who else did I say? Oh, the Suns.
The Suns. Yeah.
They smoked back from last year because we gave them. We won in 6, but it really wasn't that close. You know what I'm saying? They just got 2 at Phoenix, and that was it. But I mean, that it's so tight. No, well, it's tight right there, man. At the end, you know what I'm saying? And I just think that what the Lakers are doing, like you said, is impressive. What the Warriors are doing is impressive. All those teams just being that far ahead of 500. I mean, the Rockets, we talked about them. They won, 12 in a row? They had got up to 12 in a row before they
think so. Yeah.
And I mean, they're out of it now, but they was close. You know what I'm saying? That's how close the West has been.
And Jalen Green has turned into a different player since them Drea allegations came out. He been different, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta give him some respect. He been playing different, bro.
Are those even allegations? Like that's real.
I mean, not allegate. I mean, it's confirmed.
I'm about to say that's real.
yeah, that's for real. But since the Drea whole situation came out, he been going crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Tell me this though. So, what do you think about? Well, give me your take. Give me your take on the. Well, you kind of already did, but give me your take on who do you think? On if between I guess the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and OKC, tell me who you think like would benefit from having that 1 seed the most, or would benefit from not having the 1 seed the most.
Who would benefit from not having that 1 seed the most is Minnesota, because I think they would get sent home. The way the teams on the back, and I know that's a hot take, but the way them teams on the back end playing right now, I ain't gonna lie. I just don't. I know Minnesota has a great record and all that. I think OKC could be in trouble too because they're so young.
They're young.
So they could be a team too, but I'm still not trusting Minnesota. I know they just now getting Cat back and stuff like that. If Minnesota got to that number 1 seed, I think they could get poached by an 8 seed. I'm not gonna lie. I think they could. I'm not gonna lie. Depending on who wins, who gets there, I think they could.
I think the thing about them is like Minnesota all year. I mean, they've been one of the best defensive teams in the league. they're gonna have to score. They're gonna have to outscore the Warriors. They're gonna have to outscore the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Also, the Lakers are a very similar team. Defensive. Well, no, I won't say that. Let me not say that. The Lakers. I think the Lakers, just the experience that they have. Same with the Warriors. Matter of fact, both of them. Just the experience that they have, like you said, would be tough for OKC because they're really young.
Yeah.
And the Timberwolves. I wonder. Riddle me this though. I wonder. Do you think they peaking too soon? Do you think they peaking? Because we said this before the season started. We didn't think Minnesota was going to be a 1 or 2 seed.
No,
you know what I'm saying. So are they overstepping too soon? And will they get exposed? Because again, Rudy Gobert is on the team. We've seen Rudy Gobert teams, Rudy Gobert defenses get absolutely exposed in the playoffs. So you know what I'm saying? AB said he don't trust the Lakers in the postseason. I ain't gonna lie, I trust them more in the postseason than I do the regular season.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, when you got LeBron James and Anthony Davis, I'm gonna trust them a little more in the postseason if they even got the play in. Because, like I said, the Warriors are playing real good right now too. So if they get the Warriors, they might not even make it to
But that was the same thing happened last year. They was both playing teams, and then the freaking Lakers made it to the doggone Western Conference
Finals. Yeah, that's true.
So
I think for me, man, like I said, I really think I think the West is loaded. Like I said, I think Minnesota. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, bro. I'm not quite buying it yet, and I'm not buying it. Pretty much. Long story short. The Warriors, again, I think they are playing very well. I think they're a really good team. They always are going to be, as long as 30 is suited up for them, they're going to be a good team. That's just what it is. But I will say I just do not I can't go. I'm not putting nothing past Bron, bro. I don't care how old he is.
I ain't either.
I'm not putting nothing past LeBron. And he's actually, when he has played, he's played very well this year. So again, I
ain't gonna lie. I thought Brian, I was nervous going into the Western Conference Finals last year because I thought Brian was going to step into that extra gear, and he kind of did.
He kind of did.
Yeah. I mean,
they finished it, man. AD and I thought AD and LeBron both had good series last.
They did,
but nobody else stepped up. Nobody else around them stepped up.
Nobody else did. So,
and I mean, even though they got swept, all 4 games they played were all competitive and close.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was. They wasn't getting tossed
around.
No. They wasn't getting ran out the gym. Absolutely not. That first game had me sweating. First game, because that was the game. I think Bron went for 40 in that first game.
Bron went crazy. Yeah,
or Anthony Davis, one of them. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a band with you. Jokic just went into a different. No. Jamal Murray.
I was about to say,
he went into a different.
Murray went crazy.
But so tell me this though, before we move on to the NFL conference realignment, I just think about Minnesota. They could, first and foremost, they should be in the East. That's first and foremost. They should be in the East. But just think about where they could be if they went to the East.
Yeah.
Like they're sitting 2 seed easily.
Yeah.
They probably better than every single team over there on the East except for maybe the Bucks and the Celtics.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion. So I think the NBA, they're going to expand eventually to Seattle and what was the other place they said?
Las Vegas.
In Vegas, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Eventually they're going to move to the East. That'll be great for them.
So I kind of feel indifferent about it in a way. But I'll say this. We know the NBA is bringing a team to Vegas and Seattle in the next 5 years. I don't think nobody would deny that. It's coming. Yeah. Those 2 cities will get NBA teams soon. I think geographically, the 2 that would probably make more sense is Memphis and New Orleans. Those 2, I think, geographically are a little bit more closer to the East Coast. I mean, you think about it, New Orleans ain't nothing but a 7-hour drive from Atlanta. Again, Memphis about the same, about 6 hours. So now I think now I do understand the Minnesota notion because out of all the teams on the West Coast, they're probably the furthest because they're not too far from Chicago, they're not too far from Indiana, they're not
They're
too
right
far.
below Toronto.
Yeah, yeah. So I get it that well, no, they would be right below Toronto because Toronto would be on the opposite side. Minnesota is a little bit closer to like Wisconsin, like past Wisconsin though. Like it's
Yeah.
on the other side of Wisconsin. So it's more closer to kind of like, even though logistically I get what you're saying, it would make sense for them to be like with the Chicago team, Milwaukee, Indiana.
Yeah.
But I think because of location wise, I think Memphis and New Orleans will probably be the two teams to get
I
moved to
agree.
the East, in my opinion, because geographically it just makes sense. Those two are already closer to
To the
the
East.
East
Yeah.
Coast, really. To be honest,
I
they
think-
really shouldn't even be in the West in the first place. Really,
Yeah, they shouldn't
either
be.
one of them
Yeah,
teams.
I think the issue is there's so many teams on the East Coast. That's the
Yeah.
real problem. Like
That's the real problem, right?
It's so many teams. I mean, New York got two teams. Doggone, you got Charlotte, Atlanta, Orlando, and Miami's down there. I already said Atlanta, but Detroit, Chicago, Cleveland, all those teams are like right there together.
Right there.
Every
Yep.
single team is right there together.
Boston,
That's the real
Philly,
Boston,
all right
Philly,
there.
all them teams. That's the real issue. But that's why I said Minnesota though, because when I look at the map, when you look at the division, Minnesota, Denver, Portland, they're all in the same division, and they couldn't be further away from each other.
Yep.
Like they're so far away from each other. But I mean, we in that. It's somebody else in our division too. It's
Utah?
another team. I can't. Yeah, Utah in our division too. Yeah. Like, I mean, shoot, man. Like, it just, I don't know. But you're right though. At the same time, Memphis definitely should be in the East, and then New Orleans, they should probably be in the East too. I mean, they should do that division the same way they do it in the NBA. Atlanta, Orlando, New Orleans, and Atlanta and Charlotte.
Charlotte,
They should do they should do it the same way they do the NFL.
Yeah. No, I
NFL.
100% agree. Now, I know we was gonna talk about the NBA draft tonight, but we had like 1 hour and 17 minutes, so we're gonna give y'all something real quick about the NFL draft. The draft is in 2 weeks. Probably the next two podcasts, we're gonna try to get guests on to come on and talk about the NBA draft. I mean the NFL draft, Lord. We're gonna try in the next 2 weeks get people to come on and talk about the NFL draft. So I'm reaching out to those individuals now to see if we can get them on the show. And if we get these individuals, I think it would be really good. I would really love to hear their insight on the NFL draft. So we're working on that now. So we're definitely going to have guests regardless in the next 2 weeks to just cover the draft and stuff. I won't ask too much about the draft at this point because I think we're going to be covering that mostly. We're probably going to be done with the basketball talk for probably the next 2 weeks. It's probably going to be mostly the NFL. But how do you feel about these last couple weeks of the preparation and the evaluations of the draft? Because I always felt like the closer we get to the NFL draft, people change their opinions about people. Like, for example, I've seen the change of opinion on Drake May. He's been getting blasted by some people. Like I know Merrill Hodge, I think he's been blasting him a lot. It's always unique to see people kind of change their tune right before the draft. Do you see anybody else that you could possibly see maybe slipping in the draft or falling because of narratives and stuff like that?
Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. for some
really
reason.
Yeah, I've been seeing him too. Yeah,
for some reason that's another name I've seen people tossing around. I don't know how he's not consensus number one. I do know how, because Malik Neighbors is that good too. But like,
yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's great.
But I mean, bro, we've been talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. for almost 3 years at Ohio State. Let's be real, man. Let's be real. Let's be real. Just don't pull a Chicago and overthink it.
Yeah, I agree.
If you got, obviously the Commanders not gonna do it, and obviously the Patriots not gonna do it. But if you got the number 4 pick, who is that? That's Arizona.
Yep.
Send him the playbook now.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't overthink it. Don't. Again, if you take Malik Neighbors, that's fine. He'll turn out too. But But that's Marvin Harrison Jr. we talking about, bro. Just
Yeah.
take the player. He should have been a Bear. Just take the player. So I think I could see him potentially being the second wide receiver taken off the board, which is crazy to me because how how often have we seen a generational prospect not being the first player selected at the position? Like
Yeah,
how often does that happen?
not a lot. Not a lot.
So dude, just I think he's the player. I'm trying to think of another player that's fallen because of certain I don't know. I don't think you know what? I know you're not high on him, but I've seen Kool-Aid fall, Kool-Aid McKinstry fall. I
Yeah.
saw Keon Coleman fall. I've
Yeah,
seen
he's really failed. Yeah.
he really fell. I
Mhm.
seen and I think Nate Wiggins kind of fallen a little bit for some reason. I don't
Yeah,
think
he
people
is. Yeah, I don't understand it.
yeah, I don't think they saying his name that high for some reason lately. Even though I think he's still CB1. We both kind of said that,
Yeah.
you know. So but yeah, that's pretty much it though. As far as I
Yeah,
think.
I mean, for me, I'll keep mine short too. I think, again, Keon Coleman has fell off pretty hard. I think Xavier Worthy, I thought he was going to be hyped up even more after, that 40 time. And it seems like I'm seeing him getting mocked in like the 30s and the 40s. And I'm
Yeah,
like, man, that's crazy. I mean, I'm even seeing AD Mitchell get more like hype than him at this point. So that's been interesting to see. This is a deep wide receiver class too, by the way, man. It's deep, man. You definitely
yeah,
Troy Franklin's another one. Somebody in the comments brought up.
yeah.
He's getting plastered too right now. He did have a bad offseason.
That combine was trash,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, it
I'm
was
sorry.
terrible. Yeah, it cooked them. It cooked them, man. So I do feel like players like that are kind of falling behind. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, man. We got 2 weeks from tonight. Will be the first day of the NFL draft. Like I said, next week we're gonna try to get somebody on, and then the week of the draft, we're gonna try to get somebody on as well. We're gonna be talking
Yeah.
draft the next 2 weeks, pretty much, essentially.
Real quick, who's rising?
JJ McCarthy is rising. I think he's going to go earlier than what a lot of
Yeah,
people are thinking. I could see him going top 10. It wouldn't surprise me if JJ McCarthy goes top 10. It would not surprise me at all. I think he's rising. All of a sudden, Michael Penix Jr. is kind of rising too. He was getting like, to me, mid to late second round picks, and they were saying Atlanta might be interested, early in the second round on taking
yeah.
him. So again, man, I think Phoenix is another one that is getting a lot of late push hype. What's the tackle from Alabama? JC Latham. He's another one.
He's
Getting a
rising.
lot of
Yeah,
hype as of late. Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo. He's getting cornerback.
skyrocketed.
He's skyrocketing. I don't know what's going on, but his draft stock has skyrocketed in the last like 2-3 weeks. So yeah, those are some of the guys I kind of see on the rise at this time. What about you?
No, I was gonna say JJ.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it. I mean, we talked about him. Was that last week we talked about it?
yeah,
We
that was
talked about
last
him
week.
a little bit last
Mhm.
week. He's risen a lot. Man, I'm trying to think who else rose. Bro, no. I was gonna bring this up on your stream. On one of your videos on YouTube.
Mhm.
The Commanders took Jared Verse at 2.
Yeah,
Was the
crazy,
that jump was
crazy.
crazy. He not rising like that in real life, but
No,
um, but it's not like a meteoric rise. But I think a lot of people are taking Jaden Daniels a lot more seriously too.
yeah, yeah,
So the same way that people was talking about Drake May falling, they kind of replace him with Jaden Daniels.
yeah.
Um,
Because I mean,
so
before the draft process, Jaden Daniels was kind of in that like 12, 13 range, and then like the last, I would say like month and a half, 2 months, he's been solidly like number 2.
2 or 3.
Yeah, two
Yeah.
or three. I mean, he's had a pretty good rise as well.
I thought it was gonna be a shot. Atlanta got him at 8.
Yeah,
Nah,
that ain't happening.
it ain't happening.
That ain't happening. Yeah. So
All right.
that's where I stand with that, man. Another great episode, man. I know we held y'all a little long tonight. We had a little bit more to cover. We'll be back Tuesday, so at least you'll get to see us again a little sooner.
Soon.
Hopefully with a guest. Well, it will be a guest. We're gonna have a guest on for sure on Tuesday. So definitely tune in. Subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, on iTunes, as well as Spotify as well. Yeah, I mean, another good episode, man. Like I said, the next 2 weeks, I just kind of want to give y'all the rundown. We are going to be heavy on the NFL draft. Heavy on it, completely heavy on NFL draft. So I'm excited about that. I'm ready to get our guests on and try to get them in here because I want some just good insight from people outside of me and Cam. And let's just talk ball. I mean, it's going to be really good. So I'm excited, man. I can't wait to see what we do in these next couple weeks, man. But Cam, did you have anything you want to say before we end it out?
Nah, just appreciate it again, y'all. It's all love. You know what I'm saying? This was a good episode. I'm excited for next week. I'm excited for the draft. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, same, man. The draft is getting close. I don't know about you, bro. I'm kind of getting to the point now. No disrespect to Panthers Twitter. I'm tired of seeing mock drafts. Like, please stop. Like, I'm kind of mock draft out at this point, to be honest. Now, the Cam and T podcast, we probably will put out a mock draft graphic, maybe like the day before or a couple days before the actual draft. Like, but I'm kind of done with the mock drafts. I'm not.
Yeah. They get started. I mean, it's hard not to be tired of them when you're doing mock drafts all the way in October.
3 months.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like,
you doing mock drafts all the way in October, man.
Yeah, I'm just doing mock drafts at this point, bro. I'm ready to see the actual thing happen. I've just got draft fatigue at this point. Like, I'm just kind of ready for it to get on here. And it'll be here in 14 days. We got 2 weeks. So I'm a super excited. One more thing before we end it out. Now, I got to give us a little EA college football update. You know, they saying, the game's supposed to come out July 19th. And they saying the full reveal supposed to be, May 16th or something like that. So it's coming up, y'all. So you feel me? When the full reveal come on, you feel me? Y'all can follow me on my Twitch page, Tea Time Gaming and stuff like that. We be over there kicking it too. But I'm going to be reporting it on here too. So we getting close, bro. Because I'm telling y'all, when that game come out, the PTO days is going to be crazy. As soon as I get that announcement, the PTO days is going in. As soon as we get an official announcement on the official release date, I'm locked in. I already told my manager. He already know. Because he's a big college football fan too. So he was like, I'm probably taking off as well. So yeah, we already pretty much told. He already pretty much told me like when that game come out, me and you taking off. Like it just is what it is. So yeah, man. But yeah, dog. Yeah, we getting real close up to that EA college football game coming out. So I can't wait.
I'm excited for that, my boy. I'm telling you, I ain't gonna lie. I'm about to be doing them rebuilds like you, bro. That jump was crazy. I really. Shout out to your stream too, man, and your channel because we was on last night, man. That jump was so fun, bro.
I appreciate that, man. Y'all check us out. Check me out at Tea Time Gaming 9, man, on Twitch, and I'm on YouTube and all that too. I'll be dropping YouTube videos as well. But yeah, I appreciate the support, man. Honestly, I really do. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for tonight, y'all. We'll be back next week again, heavy on the draft. You're gonna want to be here next week. Me and Cam are gonna have a special guest on. It's going to be really good. So y'all going to really want to be on here next week, preparing for the draft. And really the week after that too, because we're going to be talking about draft. Really, probably the next 3 weeks, we're probably going to be talking about the draft because next week's going to be preparing for the draft. And then it's going to be the week of the draft. And then, we're going to probably talk about who got picked, stuff like that after the draft. So the next 3 weeks are going to be really heavy on the NFL. And then we'll probably transition back into basketball. We're going to get some more guests on. I know a lot of y'all been asking me, can I come on? Can I come on? Me and Cam are getting bombarded with people asking to come on. We promise y'all, we are going to get to y'all. It's just a lot of people asking us. We just trying to, get it all together. You know what I mean? So just wanted to make that clear. But we're going to get y'all on. I promise you, we are. But yeah, man, that's pretty much gonna end it for tonight, man. Cam, if you ain't got anything else, man, we're gonna sign on off. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all on Tuesday. So y'all get to see us sooner. We'll see y'all next week, man.